Hello, welcome to Class 3, Reiki 101. I'm gonna start with some meditation music. Thankfully got it rolling tonight on time, a little bit ahead of time. And this is Class Head, which is just like the working title that I've had for it the last few years. It's a completely vocal compilation. And I've used it personally for meditation for the last 3 or 4 years in conjunction with Stephen Barnes' Warrior Sleep program. Hi Shell, how are you? Hey Pam, what's up? Just breathing in and settling into the lovely energy. Hi Lauren. Hey Claire. Thanks for jumping on with me tonight. Hi David, how are you? Hey Lauren, Pamela. Oh, well, hopefully you'll get to feeling better. Hey Crystal. Namaste and good evening to you, my worthy friends. Thank you so much for joining me. So did some musical energy clearing. That track is called Class Head, and it's one that I recorded and have used in my personal meditation and Reiki practice for the last few years. For the first few classes, for some reason it wouldn't play, but that just means that this was the right time. It came about very easily, happened right on cue, so I think that's a pretty good sign that it is, you know, the right thing. Speaking of right things and right choices, I'm still in Tennessee. My plans were to be doing this class from Sierra Madre in Los Angeles, but I've had some things come up since I've been back home and felt the need to stay here a little longer and to be home more often. So really waiting for the universe to unfold the next right steps. Chose to stay here and to work on some family things. And there have been some beautiful moments and beautiful gifts that unfolded from that. And I've really noticed that as I've gotten into deeper practices for my own enlightenment and healing and advancement, that things do kind of fall into place a little easier. One great example of that would be how in the first year that I was practicing Reiki, again, practicing as a ministry, meaning we give this healing freely and we only accept gifts in return. I may have told this story in the beginning. A woman's daughter came in to the health food store where I was working, and she found out I was a Reiki practitioner and wanted me to come work with her mom who had had a stroke. And she was paralyzed on her right side. So, hey Nicole, what's up? When she agreed to make offerings or donations to the ministry, and after 3 sessions, no donation had come in, I felt called to continue doing to follow my commitment and do those 3 sessions. And I can't remember her name right now, but the client who was receiving the work, she definitely said she could feel the energy flowing. She'd had experience with Reiki before, so she was really already, looking forward to it and open and receptive. And about a week and a half to 2 weeks went by from the last time I saw her, and I heard someone calling my name in the grocery store, and I was kind of in a fog, and I was running around trying to pick up all of these extra things that my mom was texting me to get from the store. And I turned around, and it was my client. She was on a mobility scooter, but she asked me to stop halfway down the aisle, not to walk to her, and she parked the scooter and got off and stood up and walked. It wasn't very far, but she walked to me to give me a hug, to show me, how much progress she had made so rapidly, and how, grateful and appreciative she was of the work that I did. So she was the first person I did sound healing with. I, took my acoustic guitar and would place the body of the guitar against her weaker side, and play so that those sound waves, those vibrations were physically moving through her body. And that same day, I got to the checkout line, and I think I only had $30 with me, and with all the things that my mom had called and asked me to add on to the order, it ended up being like $60 for the bill. So I was trying to pull things out of the order, and figure out what was the most important thing to get, and I could come back to the store and get the rest, later. And the woman in line behind me stopped me and the cashier from unloading things and paid for everything that I couldn't afford, the entire basket. Enjoy. Thanks, Bluetooth. it speaks to me.
Powering off.
Okay. So yes, this woman, turned around and paid for all of our family, groceries. And it was just the most incredible thing to have such a clear flip, return of the energy. You just continually put this out, and go with what your higher being, your highest self, your God energy, your guides the God energy itself, what it's directing you to do, when you follow that, things will fall in place. So going to California after Christmas was definitely a God directive to go west and head out there. And then staying here has been also staying here this time has been God directed. I for like maybe 3 weeks, I just kept feeling more and more tension and anxiety about heading back to LA, which was a real struggle for me to understand because I loved being there so much. There was plenty of challenge and contrast to work through, plenty of growth that I've had to do myself, but I wasn't understanding why there was a resistance in my body and my emotional being about going back out to LA. And so I got some clarity on that this past weekend, and it took until pretty much yesterday morning for me to get full clarity on staying here and not going back to LA right now. It's a beautiful thing. I've been able to talk with my manager about this, and Bianca, and she's just been this wonderful sounding board. There's still plenty of things that I need to work out, and discuss. But the plan as of now is for me to be spending bulk of my time in Tennessee and going out to LA for shows, as opposed to the other way around, which is what I was expecting to be primarily in LA, and then coming back to Tennessee and Minneapolis for shows and for actions, for civic action, especially in Minneapolis and Tennessee. So I'm also waiting for the universe to unveil how that is going to flow. I'm really honored and grateful and appreciative of where my Justice for Prince journey is going to go. So it's this beautiful, beautiful mystery. Getting back to Reiki, for those of you joining for the first time, if you haven't seen the previous classes, just a very basic overview. Reiki is a Japanese energy healing technique. It's a couple 100 years old. It was developed by Dr. Mikao Usui in Japan, and it is not a religion or a faith practice. It's a system of using the energy that exists within all things, and Reiki itself means universal life force energy. And so there's an understanding in both the spiritual and scientific communities that essential energy exists within all things. Hi, Kivian. So that's awesome. One of my first ever students gets to be on here with all of us. So that universal life force energy flows through, exists within all things, and through a practice like Reiki, that energy can be channeled and used on a regular basis to bring about personal enlightenment as well as physical healing. And the physical healing is a side effect of seeking that personal alignment, of seeking to heal and improve yourself. I had a correction to make from last week. I believe I said that Mrs. Takata, who brought Reiki to Hawaii and thus the U.S., was a direct student of Dr. Usui's, but she was actually a second generation student, and she was the student of Dr. Hayashi, which is in the Reiki Level 1 manual. Thank you again to Peggy Jenoff for writing this comprehensive manual, and it's just been a godsend for me personally, being able to pass this on to my students until I get to the point of writing my own, which my angel guides have made it very clear that's happening soon, as well as a blog about my personal healing journey and the different things that the different forms that's taken. So one thing, Usui Sensei intended his system to assist people to become enlightened, and physical healing was a side effect rather than the end goal. So when you use Reiki with the sole purpose of healing yourself or someone else, it still takes effect, it still works. However, it takes a little bit longer because you're focusing on the ailment or the damage, which brings more attention and energy to that damage before it's able to start the healing process. Healing being coming into closer alignment with your highest self and with your body coming into alignment with wholeness. Each cell in the body coming into its intended whole state of being. So healing can be channeled by anyone, and Reiki, it's not dependent on your religion or your beliefs, or your knowledge. Again, Reiki energy is just a rediscovery of that universal life force energy and a system of being able to align with and use it. Some people speak of angels, of suddenly being granted a power or healing power, and wondering why we're not able to tap into that more often. I actually had a client ask me that earlier this week. Why isn't it that we're able to use this on a regular basis? And for me, that was that's the point of Reiki, is that it does teach us to be able to use this on a regular basis. And it just trains you to know what that energy feels like and how to call on it, and trains you in a system of utilizing it. However, it's not the only way. It can be channeled as simply as tapping in with deep meditative prayer and allowing that energy to flow through you. And so that when I speak of allowing, that means focusing on the solution and the answers coming to you, rather than focusing on the problem and sending out a request for help and aid with the problem. So I think that I wanted to go over the 5 Reiki principles just as meditation. Hey Tina, what's up? Welcome, welcome. And oh wow, huge thanks to everybody for tuning in today as opposed to yesterday. Even though I wasn't on the plane and traveling, it was still challenging to try and get online last night. And I just really appreciate everyone's patience with me as I do my best to translate all of this into something meaningful for myself as well as you all. Because with Reiki, it's a gift that we receive as well as give. Every time we give a session, we receive a session. Every time we pass on any of the gifts and knowledge, we receive gifts and knowledge in return. So if everyone join me in taking a deep breath and getting centered and grounded. Invoking the violet flame and the crystal ray, standing tall in the purple rain. Just for today, I release worry. Just for today, I release anger. Just for today, I'm grateful and appreciative. Just for today, I work and pray diligently and honestly. Just for today, I show loving kindness to every living creature, including myself. So the 5 Reiki principles are a great example of that personal journey of enlightenment and attunement with universal life force energy, that attunement with God force energy, and with our spirit guides. Another testament to continuing your journey is that there are several spirit energies that have walked with me for many years, most of my life, and some of them I'm just coming to understand, to the extent that there's one energy that's been with me for 15 years. Well, it'll be 15 years this fall. And it's my friend Greg, who he crossed the night of my accident 15 years ago, where I had the brain injury, my crowning, and I realized that I've literally been holding on to and carrying his energy, as well as some guilt about that accident, for 15 years, and I've processed parts of it, bits and pieces of it over the years, but another big chunk of it released, and I was able to really feel his energy in a new way on Tuesday evening. And that was another part of my clarity for staying home. Let's see. All right. Set the correction about Mrs. Takata being a student of Dr. Hayashi. About attunements, I did a level 1 attunement last class. I kept feeling called to do that, to share that energy. We may do another going forward. So the attunement is just that first level of energy being passed to you from your teacher, and initiating you into the Reiki lineage, the Reiki energy, and allowing you to start feeling and using that energy for yourself. It enacts a transformation in your energy field or your aura. It opens, clears, and connects the recipient of the attunement to the ability to use universal energy. And this attunement should be considered permanent, that it is a permanent step forward in your alignment and enlightenment process. So many people feel the attunement as it's happening. There's many different descriptions of those experiences, maybe as heat waves or energy flowing into the body, see lights or images, maybe even hear music when there isn't any playing. Many people don't experience any sensations at all other than feeling relaxed. And sometimes more energized. Most people will start to feel subtle energies on an increasing basis, and practicing Reiki on a regular basis is going to accelerate your spiritual development, which goes with anything. The regular practice of connecting with divine healing energy increases your ability to not only connect but to channel. Many people choose to fast or refrain from eating meat or smoking before being attuned to Reiki, but it's not essential. You must be sober to receive attunement, and other than that, all you really have to do is want to receive and accept the attunement from your Reiki teacher, and it helps to be in a meditative, receptive state at the times the attunements are done. There are people who actively reach out and pull the attunement in, which would mean that your energy is not only open, but you're in a very seeking, drawing in pattern, which has been the case with some of my one-on-one students. And for others, you can refuse the attunement. You can reject it, or maybe only be allowing in a little bit at a time. And so that's the beautiful thing with Reiki, that it follows an intention, but it also follows permission, that anyone can reject or accept this healing energy. And that's another reason that you want to also talk to people about what's happening before you start to give them treatments, and as you are practicing. let's see, after the post-attunement detoxification. So with any new level of achievement, your body is going to go through some changes. One of the things that Reiki does is it encourages your cells to release toxins, as we said in the first class, and you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water and flushing that out. So even on it's on a deeper level when you're receiving an attunement to become a practitioner than when you're merely receiving a treatment, receiving an attunement. Your body is going to be detoxing on all levels of being. The cells and organ systems of your body, as well as your energetic and spiritual body, are going to be releasing clutter and releasing old patterns. And you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water to flush that out, but also continuing to do your meditations and exercise. Salt baths, sage and salt protocols are really helpful in doing that. So the sage and salt, that particular phrase and combination came from Jamie Selby, who's one of my first Reiki students, and you can find her information on the MemPhoenix website. But to sage and smudge the body before getting into a very strong salt bath of Epsom salt and sea salts to help cleanse and detoxify the body and remove negative lower vibrations and energies. So further talking about how Reiki is a subtle energy and that you don't have to put out a lot of effort or concentration in order to continue the flow of Reiki. It's mainly just your intention that you have that flow going. Hi, Kara. I'm about to get to the symbols. That's a really good point, and exactly in alignment. So I think we did go over this part about self-treatment, that Reiki can be used for your own healing as well as others, and that treating yourself is an excellent way to become a better practitioner, but also to raise your vibration and continue your journey to enlightenment. Of course, you want to cleanse your personal energy before you begin to treat another person, so that you're not passing on extra debris to them. And then another practice that I personally put in place is filling yourself, filling your entire body with that radiant Reiki energy. And I like to use the violet flame kind of as a glove over my body, and then have that Reiki energy channeling continually through me, but from the environment to my hands and to the client, so that we're both not only being enveloped by this healing energy and that this transmission is taking place, but for me personally, I know that all of my issues are staying within my aura, and that I'm not passing that on to the client, nor taking it on from the client, not taking on their illness. And so when it's just a pure Reiki energy transmission, it does not transfer those illnesses or negative energies. There's some other spiritual practices, especially shamanic techniques, where the practitioner sends their own personal energy to the client and then pulls that illness and negative energy from them and takes it into themselves and then channels it out into the universe. I personally feel like that's incredibly unhealthy and can become, and even be dangerous, because our thoughts and beliefs and vibrations affect not only the world around us but our physical bodies within us. And so I would personally recommend that you choose to only channel the Reiki energy, and to keep your focus on that energy flowing. And if you find your mind wandering during a treatment for yourself or others, just bring your focus back to your breath and back to the 5 Reiki principles. And even throughout the day, I will find myself chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo and reciting the Reiki principles just for today. Just for today. And sometimes I say nothing but just for today repeatedly. Hey Shell, when you save, do you go ahead to feet? Save. Oh, sage. Yeah, no problem. Yes, when I'm saging and smudging, I start from head to toe, cover even the bottoms of the feet, and then come back up from head to crown. And as far as saging goes, smudging, something that I found really effective in the last few years is adding in Palo Santo for the clearing. And then after I've cleansed, to close and bathe in the sweet. So using sweet grass after the sage to kind of invite in the healing and helpful, beneficial spirit guides, and the beneficial forces in the environment, as we say in Nichiren Buddhism, the Shoten Zenjin, or in some traditions we would say the fairies. And, oh, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. So do we get questions? Okay, cool. So I'm going to skip some of this. We'll come back. I'll come back to what to do before the treatment. I want to get to the symbols. Oh, it's 8:33 already, so I guess I'll need to get to that. And then do our practice session and send out a healing treatment for everyone on the call today. Okay, I thought I had that page pulled up and I do not see it. So I'll just write and draw the Reiki symbols. So Kara made a really good point about whether or not to use the Reiki symbols. So one thing that Dr. Usui did was to make symbols for each of the forces that he felt were essential in the Reiki practice. And the first one is called Choku-rei. So that's C-H-O, Cho-ku, K-U, Rei, R-E-I. And it means put the power of the universe here. And it's the first symbol that you learn in Reiki. And for me, it was also the one of the most important ones because it was one that I always went back to. Oh, that's not a great... It's just like it's not a great drawing of it, but I will endeavor to try again. And so for me, the point and the benefit of drawing the symbols whenever you're writing or drawing anything when you're learning a new system, the point is that you have tactile, physical input. And during my brain recovery, something that I really learned as a coping mechanism for ADD as well, is that writing and reading anything helps your brain to store it and learn it in different ways. So you have the tactile input of writing it, so that message is going down into the arm and back up again, and so you've got the muscle memory as well as the brain memory of sending that message, and then you're seeing what you're writing, and so it's going into your brain in a second way. And as many different forms of memory that you can create around anything gives you that much more chance of it sticking with you. So with that, as I was learning the Reiki symbols, that was the main thing for me, was being able to have something that represented each of those energies for me. And helped me to remember and focus that energy. And so you don't have to draw the symbols. I know for a lot of people there's fear around around using any symbols that you don't understand, and that's very natural, and you'd rather write it in your own understanding, and that's totally fine. Reiki works by your intention. So learning the symbols and what they mean, you know, it's your choice whether or not you choose to use them. More often than not, I just use the words, the English words, but there are times where it comes to me the way that I learned it, as Chokure or Seiheki, which is the second symbol, and that would be the emotional healing symbol, the heart symbol. And so another thing with this, with using the symbols, is that it can be a quicker way of focusing and utilizing the energy. So writing the symbols in the palm of your hand, you know, gives you that instant visceral feeling of putting that energy on the palms of your hands, on your heart, and putting it in those three places has always been very potent and effective for me. It's recommended that as you practice, you draw the symbols ahead, you know, as you begin to flow the energy. So you can use the Reiki symbols or write those the words in air with your fingers. The point is that writing or drawing, however you choose to do it, you're using as many methods as you can to help you focus and stay attached to that energy. So the biggest thing with people experiencing miracles and miraculous healing is that it's spontaneous and not a steady flow, whereas Reiki is, the entire system is about connecting to that energy and focusing it in a way that you can utilize it on a regular basis. Oh, come on. Battery not dead. Okay. So with that said, whenever you choose to use the symbols or words, whatever fits best with your energy, feels best to you, I always choose to repeat it in threes. I was taught to repeat things in threes. I've got 3 people on the show right now, and for, you know, that's not a requirement, but it does help to seal the energy. And for me, with my personal beliefs, the number 3 ties into the Holy Trinity, which I've come to view as the Father and Mother and the Son, and the Mother being the Holy Ghost. And ironically enough, Chi in Western theology is referred to as the Holy Spirit or the Mother energy. And I definitely have felt that it was more of a feminine energy at times. Excuse me. Oh my. So I'm going to get ready and send out the healing today. I would like for everyone who's participating to work on creating an energy ball. So begin rubbing your hands together and prepare to cleanse your personal energy. So on the outsides of each arm, inside of each arm, across the body, like seatbelts going left to right. So from the shoulder to the hip, and then down the back, across the legs and knees, first around and over the head. And then again, rubbing the hands together to clear the energy and to build up that friction and heat. Put a little pressure as you're rubbing, so not a lot, because you want to be able to move, but a little pressure, so that you create some really good energy, some good friction there. And I like to keep it going till I start to feel that, till that heat starts to feel almost liquid. You can start to sense that energy. Hello, Sister Rita. And slowly pull apart. Let your breathing return to a nice, steady pace. And just give a little push and pull, and be very aware of the feelings, the sensations in your hands as the energy builds. Another really good practice is, as you're thinking of using the symbols to channel Reiki, using both the symbol and the name in English and Japanese. So Chokure, put the power of the universe here. Chokure, put the power of the universe here. Chokure, put the power of the universe here. As you're building that energy ball, hopefully it's beginning to grow stronger as you practice. If you begin to feel like the energy is swirling as opposed to just becoming thicker, then you may be creating a bigger energy ball than you're allowing yourself to hold. So maybe try expanding your hands a little wider. Now that you've created this beautiful energy orb, I'd like everyone to think of something that you appreciate, something that you're grateful for, and begin to channel that feeling into the energy orb. Imagine that with every breath in, you're remembering more to be grateful and appreciative for. And with every breath out, you're expanding this energy field with more gratitude and appreciation. And as we continue to fill this space with gratitude and appreciation, we're going to prepare to send these energy balls up into the atmosphere. And then we're going to open them up to sprinkle that healing light, that love and light and appreciation upon us. Any plants and animals that would like to receive this Reiki healing, any persons who are open to this energy and wish to receive this healing, this alignment. We continue to flow this beautiful energy of love and appreciation, knowing that as we do so, we heal not only ourselves, bring not only ourselves into closer alignment with God, but those around us, and that through our personal journeys of seeking enlightenment, we automatically enable others around us to begin their journeys as well, and to take further steps along their path. So I feel ready to release this into the ether, into the environment. Continue to practice as long as it feels right to you. Just visualize all of that energy opening and expanding and spreading around your aura, cleansing, enlightening, and balancing. So begin to take your hands. You can go directly to a place on your body that you feel needs light and attention or support, or you can just begin to scan your entire body from head to toe. You can do a general scan over the entire body, or begin to go to the basic Reiki hand positions. So there's more detailed explanation of the hand positions in the manual, but basically you want to start with the eyes or the face. And be open to any sensations that come, whether you're treating yourself or another person. Those sensations each have, well, not each, but many have names. One name for that is called biosen, and that is the feedback that you get from the body of the client or yourself. Sometimes that can feel cold, like a cold tingle, or very hot. Sometimes it feels like almost like a magnet, like something pulling or pushing. And wherever you encounter discomfort or pain, whether on yourself or if you begin to pick that up from a person that you're treating, just continue to breathe and send love and send that flow of Reiki energy. Stay as relaxed as possible. In our relaxed state, we can allow more of that divine light to flow through us. When we get anxious, worried, or tense, we start to pinch ourselves off from that flow. Just sit and gently breathe. Allow this healing that you've created for yourself to flow in and around and through you. Allow this energy to connect you to the earth and to the heavens above. Allow it to flow through the entire body, from your root chakra at the base of your spine where you sit, all the way up to your crown chakra at the top of your head, connected to heaven. So going back to the root chakra, picturing a beautiful ruby red coming up the spine, to the second chakra, your creativity chakra, which is a beautiful bright orange. And imagine these places, these lights spinning counterclockwise. Coming up to the solar plexus, just above the belly button, picturing this bright, sunny yellow, shining with this quiet power that radiates throughout your entire being. Coming higher still up the spine to the heart chakra, picturing beautiful, bright green and pink. Noticing if there's deep emerald there. Continuing up to the throat, a gorgeous sky blue. If you like, you can also focus on the mouth chakra. Beautiful bright turquoise. Coming up higher still to the third eye, just above and between the eyebrows. Ideally, our movie screen would be a very pale blue, crystal clear connection to heaven. Typically, for most of us, it's a deep indigo. As we begin to do our work and clear our connections, it gets brighter and lighter. And continuing up to the crown chakra, into that gorgeous violet purple flame. In full gratitude for the divine Reiki energy which flows through me, the divine Reiki energy which flows through you, and the divine Reiki energy which flows in and around us all. Guard, guard, guard us by the lightning of thy love. Guard, guard, guard us by thy great self above. Guard, guard, guard us by thy secret power of light, and seal us safe forever in thy diamond heart of light. Guard, guard, guard us by the lightning of thy love. Guard, guard, guard us by thy great self above. Guard, guard, guard us by thy secret power of light, and seal us safe forever in thy diamond heart of light. Guard, guard, guard us by the lightning of thy love. Guard, guard, guard us by thy great self above. Guard, guard, guard us by thy secret power of light, and seal us safe forever in thy diamond heart of light. Now sending out a wave of divine healing Reiki energy to all who are willing and ready to receive. Asking for healing on all levels of being, for our highest good, for the highest good of all. Asking to sweep away and clear away any energies that no longer serve. Inviting in that healing oneness, alignment, and attunement with God's source energy, universal life force energy. Thanks and praise and appreciation for the source of all that is. Grateful and appreciative for the energy which creates worlds, the divine essence of the universe. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Tu Re Swa. 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 Om Tare. Namaste. The divine light in me honors and salutes the divine light in you. And as we finish this brief Reiki practice, begin to seal and heal our energetic body. So if you were giving a treatment to a client who, for instance, might be laying on a table, you begin to sweep that energy up from the feet towards their head. Whereas when we began the session in person, if they were on the table, we begin to sweep from the head to the feet. Just like with the hand positions, we start with the eyes and the head and move down the body. And so in sealing that energy, where it's kind of like pulling a blanket of extra Reiki energy over the entire body, the entire energetic field, to seal you up and put you back into the world in this enhanced and renewed and beautiful bubble of alignment and attunement. So a common misconception is that healing and alignment mean that life is easier. Suddenly you're enlightened and everything's flowers and roses and nothing is a challenge anymore. But that's just not true and kind of misses the point of our being here, of our existence. You know, we came here to experience life, to experience contrast, to look at all of the experiences of the world and learn to come back to a place of love and a place of centeredness and alignment and attunement to our highest self, to our highest good. And so it's a continually evolving process. Like kind of like me teaching this class, I've spent many years in education and clinical therapeutic settings, and saying that I'm teaching a class when it's kind of on the fly, and don't have the energy or centeredness at the present moment to put together the materials and the websites in the way that I think it should be done, by a professional. I still chose to follow the guidance to go ahead and create the class and start sharing this in the best way that I could at this moment, and not doing more than my best, not pushing myself to go above and beyond what I'm capable of or what's comfortable. Because quite often we will start to push ourselves, or I will speak for me, will push myself into obsessive compulsive territory with trying to get things right by some other outside measurement of achievement, and it's really kind of all false, because the best achievement is alignment with God's source energy, alignment with our highest self. Just in my personal opinion, I think I rambled away from the point just a little bit there. I found it, again, it was gratitude and appreciation for everyone that is finding benefit in these classes and in these healing sessions that go out each week. I have huge appreciation for you for tuning in and for supporting the work and the ministry. It's a beautiful blessing to be able to share this, even with just one person. But there are those of you that are coming every week, and the power three that started it all, Crystal, Shell, and Tina. Thank you. And Crystal actually got the idea rolling before we even went to DC. And I just can't say enough how much I appreciate this gift, because it's not that I'm just coming here and doing it each week for someone else. I'm really getting the benefit of this healing for myself. And that's, with each Reiki client that I see in person here in Tennessee, and the group therapy sessions that I've been able to do in Tennessee and Los Angeles, all of it is this beautiful evolution. Let me get my eyes. Thank you, Shell. Yeah, it's all about an easy pace And energy can't be chaotic if you're sharing that energy. Exactly. Like, that's the beautiful thing, is that I don't have to share necessarily my energy or what's going on with me. I, don't have to risk passing that on to someone else, because there's kind of that built-in safeguard and safety with Reiki energy. It's only sending that positive healing energy for the highest good of all. Let's see, hi Juan. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oops. Rocking the boat. So, did anybody have any questions that, oops, I keep trying to pull the comments up. Here we go. Have any questions about anything that we covered tonight? And I'd covered a few things on repeat. Hey Tina, thank you. Very cool. Sensing energy and the treatment with the energy ball. Glad we covered that. So those are on pages 34 and 35 in the manual. Looks like I'm jumping around even more than I realized, but it's feeling fun. And then I passed to 33, just as I say, well, it's feeling fun, and my battery's at 11%. Nice. Score. I would like to share maybe some music. Well, Greg says get my guitar, so I'm gonna get my guitar. After the rain and before the storm's gone, colors change, keep pushing on. Oh, after the rain and before the storm's done. Prince says it was his idea. Greg just agreed. I love you all. After the rain, before the storm, colors change, keep pushing on. Skies turn purple, people running everywhere. Wasn't your imagination, the purple rain was there. The purple army, the raspberry brigade, marching strong in the purple rain. After the rain and before the storm, colors change, gotta keep pushing on and on and on. The skies turn purple, people running everywhere. Not your imagination, the purple rain was there. Purple army, raspberry brigade, marching toward the purple rain. In the purple rain. After the rain and before the storms, colors change, gotta keep pushing on and on and on. So that was After the Rain, written in DC, after the rain. Love you guys. Awesome. So let me double check no questions came in. About Revelation. Wow. Oh, sorry for all the bumping. Shell, I would love to know more about your dream. Totally. Man. All right. No other questions. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll try and get this and last week's class posted. I was having some technical difficulties this week. And yeah, hopefully get another verse written to that song. Thank you, Tina. It was a beautiful flow that came in on that last some purple rain. Okay. So, cool. Absolutely. Oops. Never meant to cause you any pain. Only wanted one time to see you laughing. Only wanted to see you laughing in the purple rain. So yeah, I still use the chords, read the chords with this. It just... Never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain. Hey. Only one time to see you laughing. Only wanted to see you laughing in that purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. yes, purple rain, purple rain. I only wanted to see you bathing in that purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. Oh, no, no. Only wanted to be some kind of friend. Baby, I could never steal you from another. Such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, it's purple rain, purple rain. I only wanted to see you underneath that purple rain. Honey, I know times are changing, changing. It's time we all reach out for something new that means you too. You say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. I think you better close it and let me guide you to the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, purple rain, purple rain. I only wanted to see you underneath that purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and helping me to attune to more of myself. It's truly a gift to be able to be here with you. Thank you so much. I'm going to go get some water because I forgot to bring some with me to class. And I am parched. So hopefully you all have a wonderful evening. Drink plenty of water. Take your salt baths. Do some salt and sage and salt tonight. And go out and enjoy this beautiful new moon energy. And let this Reiki healing help you to release all that no longer serves you and bring in the loving light of that which is meant for you. Peace. Namaste.